All right, guys, you know the deal. You're watching DSC. I am Dom, and today, as part of our sort of exploration of digital content in the art realm, we're going to be looking at interior semiotics, a video I've been hearing a lot about because of the performance. I've never seen it before, so let me just click right here, and we're going to do a live watch of it and see what's happening.
Pain is life.
Oh.
Life communicated through words. Words sounding like f.
And she's vocalizing. She's a very unattractive woman. Actually, no. She's attractive. She's skinny and pale. I like that. And she's using a can opener to open up.
Words.
Looks like SpaghettiOs. Oh.
Words pronounced like
Okay, she's vocalizing. It's really interesting. Okay.
Dialect, communication.
All right.
Miscommunication.
She's pouring the SpaghettiOs all over the floor, and she's taking a
Life is
handful
pain.
of it.
Life is pain.
Oh my God! She's putting it inside of her pussy. What is this? It's oozing out. Wow, this is quite incredible. This performance art is bizarre. A hallmark of modern art, clearly, in the sense that things don't have to make any sense.
You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Dom.
I'm D.respect.
You got a great set of tits.
I get so angry thinking about this kid.
Because that's what most people are bitching about.
I'm from New York, you know what I mean? We like to eat out here, you know?
You gotta stop looking at interacting with people online as a cheap date. My father used to drink.
Get the fuck away from me. I'm done.
I come a lot, by the way.
You're doing the rap stuff.
If you didn't say it, somebody in the comment section would have said it.
It's like how you feel when you're having a paranoid high.
That's a dynamic connection right there. You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Dom.
I'm D.respect. If you're listening to the Double D's, cast via iTunes, we always want to remind you to be active within the iTunes community. Please comment. Please subscribe. It helps the Double D's podcast out. Very much.
That's the remix.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. So what's going on out there in Double D's night? You know, one thing that we never do, we never ask the subscribers what they're going through. We never ask them what's going.
Yeah, because you don't want to do questions. I'll take questions right the fuck now.
Well,
off Twitter.
Well, you know, we can take questions. We can do that, but just in the comment section, let us know what's the main thing that's plaguing you in your life besides what you look like. Move past that.
Besides the fact that you're ugly, we can't.
Besides the fact that you're ugly as shit, just like forget about that and don't be so shallow and just remember what Katy Perry told you. You are a firework, baby. Go and show them what you're worth. Just go out there and show them, man. You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever feel like
words communication? All right, I apologize. I don't know. Am I developing like a slight case of laryngitis? I'm not even sure. I'm fucking all over the place. I don't know.
Did you kiss a frog or something?
What was that?
Did you kiss a frog or something? What happened? You got mono?
Yeah, your ex-girlfriend, man. It was pretty crazy. I don't want to make you feel
You
uncomfortable.
ever messed around with a friend's ex? You ever did that thing?
A friend's ex. It depends what you want to consider an ex, really.
They were. He had feelings for her.
He had feelings for her? Yes, there was one person. But she liked me more before they got together. But the thing was, I was being a total fucking bitch because I was going through a breakup and I didn't want anything to do with anyone. So she went out with him, and then afterwards, maybe a few months later, after they stopped dating, I banged her. And the weird thing was that we were cool, and as she was sucking my dick, she looked up at me and she was like, "This feels so weird." And I didn't care.
Oh yeah, because that's what every girl says when they touch your dick.
That's normally what happens. Up around maybe the 2-minute mark, they always look up at me and they say that. But I didn't give a fuck. I don't want your mind and your soul. I want your body. That's all I want. That's all I need. So yeah,
Just-
but me and
you
him
know what-
weren't that close, really.
You know what you should have said when she said that it feels weird?
Yeah.
Do you think she would have continued if you made those sounds?
That's
She was sucking you off.
she would have definitely continued after that. Definitely would have continued. Hey, have you gotten hold of this Checkers story about what went down at Checkers just a couple days ago?
I just saw the video.
I
and
will lay
fucking
the video
died.
in the description below, guys. But apparently, there's this video. It's not apparent. It's pretty obvious. There's a video circulating online. It's gone pretty viral. It is a Checkers employee in the kitchen, in the back. She's preparing a hamburger, and she takes one of the buns, purposefully drops it on the floor, and drags it, and then picks it up and puts it right back.
And you know it's that
on the
oily-
counter.
It's that oily,
oily-
smelly floor too. You know how. You walk through some of these burger joints and your feet, your shoes skid on the floor because of all the grease and grime just contained in the air.
But you can't judge the burger joints because you're eating there. You deserve what you get.
I can judge them and I'll eat there.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
It does. McDonald's is gross sometimes, most of the time.
McDonald's
and
is
I'm eating
always
there
gross.
because I'm gross.
Yeah,
That's like saying that I can't say I'm gross. I can't judge myself.
Okay, well, look, before we start riffing on, let's give the viewers full context of the video. So she dragged the bun on the floor, and you could hear maybe the person that was holding the camera. Somebody said something like, "Yeah, we're gonna serve that nigga or give it to him." It was something said in the video that was like that, like we're gonna give it to him or give it to that nigga. So obviously that implies that they served the burger. Now, since then, a video has been put out by the vice president of Checkers, and she's apologizing for the incident, obviously, and, a whole bunch of corporate jargon. This isn't what we're about here at Checkers, because serving 1,000-calorie burgers is what we're definitely about, but we're not if they're contaminated. So
I wish she had been eating a burger while she was talking.
enjoying a delicious
This is
Checkers
fucking,
burger.
This is great, by the way. Anyway,
So one thing that was said in the video with the vice president lady, which is complete and utter bullshit, she wanted to reassure the public that she spoke to the parents of the employee and that the employee assures her that that burger was never served.
Yeah, I bet she did.
Right. Okay.
By the way, I want to give you guys a little more context. Not only she drops the bun face down, which is even worse, right? Like gathers up the grease on the floor, and then she puts it back on. She puts the mayo on there. Okay, think about it. She's putting the mayo on there, and then she casually throws some pickles on there, and then
Right. Yeah, it's coming right up. It's coming right up. It definitely is. This is the fear that you run into when you're dealing with people who serve your food. If you speak to them in a tone that is outside of pleasant, there's always
Yes,
something
but
in the back of your head that you always think, are they going to fuck with my food? Probably.
But there's always that risk, even if you're nice to them.
But you can't assume that, though. I mean...
Yeah, you can. You've eaten at least one thing that fell on the floor, dude, in your life.
So even if you're nice to a person, do you,
Yeah, dude.
you think...
Because they could have a bad day. They could be like, someone broke up with them or whatever. They watched a gross video and they're really upset. Yeah. And then they come to work and then they're ready. They're ready to start shit.
But there's something funny about the fact that the person is eating at Checkers anyway. I mean, now, you're well within your right to eat at Checkers, but please don't tell me that you're looking out for your health. Not to say that you should be eating burgers that have been dragged on the floor here, but that's not exactly meat you're eating. You know what I'm saying? So you should be more worried about the meat that you're eating and not the what's being dragged on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no way to eat well on there because you might have a salad or something, but even that lettuce is greasy. You know that's not real.
They serve
lettuce.
salad at Checkers, really?
Probably. You could probably look at one of those shitty ass chicken Caesar salads.
With just like iceberg lettuce and that's it.
Yeah, it's gross shit. By the way, I declare we should make the last few minutes of this episode. We're taking questions. We got questions on Twitter, dude. Let's do it.
Who posted questions on Twitter?
Some guys.
Is this going to be about broken dicks? I mean, because
I said serious ones only. We're getting a few serious ones. We'll spend the last few minutes in the questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll do that. We at Double D's, we are for the people. So
we want to engage you more. We want you to interact more. Don't ask stupid questions though, because
that's that's a given. Come on, I mean that's they're gonna ask.
I mean, look, I'm just saying if you're gonna ask you can ask a serious question in a stupid way. But if you just ask a stupid one, then we're just gonna we might chuckle, but then we're not gonna acknowledge it at all. So it's like, why'd you even put it out there? You know what I'm saying?
You remember back when you were in school and the teacher would say, there's no such thing as a stupid question, but you always sort of felt that teachers just universally reacted the same way to a stupid question. So, for example, I'm in a classroom and I say, so, who is the 31st president of the United States?
Mm-hmm.
Dom raises his hand. What's Dom's answer?
Grover Cleveland.
Well, see, I don't even know if this is accurate.
I don't know either. Let me find out right now.
You idiot! You could have just said baloney. God damn it! You
Grover
know what?
Cleveland.
You know where I was going with this.
Oh,
You giving me an actual
I'm supposed
name?
to answer stupid.
Yeah, that's not a.
It's
dumb...
Herbert Hoover, by the way, everybody.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Herbert,
Okay, let's try it again.
No, that's it. Yeah, you ruined it.
I lost the moment?
God.
I only had one shot.
When I was going, no, you do not get one shot. Eminem said you only get one shot. You had one chance to blow, and you fucking blew it. Just forget it. Kill yourself and just walk away for 2 minutes. All right?
My palms are still spaghetti, though. All right, yeah, but dumb questions.
So when the teacher gets the answer, didn't they always normally go, okay.
Yeah.
But, and then they sort of did this gesture with their hands in a circular motion, like regenerating the whole thing. But
Kids are fucking retarded. That's what they're thinking. Kids are fucking dumb.
That's baloney, but I want you to think more in terms of a person.
Oh, you mean like Lil B?
Not quite Little B, but try thinking of someone a bit older, maybe Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon. That's like that nigga from 300, right?
Really close. Anybody
Leonidas.
else?
Leonidas.
Leonidas. Who the fuck is that?
From 300. It's a nigga from 300.
Oh, nigga from 300. Okay, this is Sparta or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. Dominant.
You didn't even know who it was.
No. I did.
You know what I did? He shouldn't have known the name. I fucked up by making my fictional dumb character know the name of the dude from 300. It's like, how could he know? Oh, fuck.
Because he listens to the Double D's podcast. That's why.
That's how he knows.
That's how he knows, and that's who he is.
One marker, by the way, getting back to disgusting food, one marker of becoming an adult and understanding your body more is it's going to get kind of disgusting, guys. When you eat at a Checkers, at McDonald's, the smell of your shit, the consistency, you just know. Just coming out, you're like, that was a poor decision. Just think about the waste that comes out of your body. It's supposed to be the consistency, basically, when you're eating salads and just a lot of fiber, a lot of healthy, whole foods that are sort of not processed. You know the difference. It doesn't smell as bad. It always passes more easily. Bada bing, you get in and out. You do a one wipe, you're good. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Those shits, the healthy shits.
Yeah.
Filled with veggies.
Everything just comes out like soft serve ice cream.
Isn't that the fucking best?
Mm-hmm.
You're you don't want ice cream. You want somewhere in between ice cream and rock salt.
Mm. Okay.
Rock salt. You want and it's just sploosh. It's sploosh clean. Where you barely even have to wipe. You're like, damn, son. Mm-hmm. That's how you know you're doing the right shit. But at the same time, there are some things you can eat. Sometimes you'll eat 10 hamburgers and then it'll just be just a boulder coming out, and you wipe and there's nothing
10
there.
hamburgers. You've eaten 10 hamburgers at some point in your life?
I've eaten in a day, the most hamburgers I probably eat are probably 4. I've probably eaten 4.
Was this a barbecue?
Cookout. Always at cookout.
Okay.
The abundance of food is that's my trigger. That's like my sticking point in terms of losing weight. An abundance of food, being offered free food, that drives me nuts. Mm-hmm. If you offer me food, I have to resist so hard not to take it.
I revert back to the moments after I met Dom for the first time. Dom and I met in front of the Gray's Papaya on 72nd Street in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. I had some Gray's Papaya hot dogs with me, and we were walking towards Central Park where we were going to record the live show. So as we were walking, I told Dom, "Are you hungry?" And you said, "Yeah." And then I said, "Oh, you can have one of my hot dogs." Before I even finished the sentence, and believe me when I say before I finished the sentence, Dom just grabs the hot dog.
I didn't grab it.
You fucking just went. It was immediate. I said, "Whoa, okay." This guy obviously hasn't been fed in a few hours.
I was hungry. I think I was right off the bus. Was I? Wasn't I?
Probably right off the bus. Right off the.
I grabbed. You never told me this story.
Well, you should know what you do.
I didn't. I giggled like a Japanese woman, like, and then I just accepted it. I grabbed it.
Dom, hi.
The bun was all pixeled as I put it in my mouth.
Dom, I like to ask you. I would like to ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
On this podcast, you have expressed your love for white girls. You have love for Japanese girls.
No, because they don't look me in the eye. Like, you're not looking me in the eye right now. Yukiko, I want you to look at me, all right?
That is not my name.
That is your name. You told me.
No,
What is your name, then?
My name? You do. I have one more question before I leave.
Okay, go ahead.
How many broken dicks does it take to...
Just go. Okay, you can go. You can go now. Thank you.
I don't know what her name is, and I don't know what her last question was.
It's Yukiko. That's the name of that character.
Yukiko?
Yukiko. That's a Japanese name.
Oh, okay.
You gotta get smart, dog. You gotta learn this.
It sounds like one.
Shit'll get you killed on these streets, homie.
So does Nokio. Is that a Japanese name?
Nokia, I think.
No,
is
Nokio.
Nokio? That doesn't sound like. I mean, it could be, maybe.
Okay.
Nokia. Isn't that a father? That's a song from Father, I believe.
From Father?
Yeah, you don't listen to Father, the rapper?
No, I was gonna say.
Look at wrist.
No. I was gonna say John Father Misty. I was gonna say that.
Oh, you like him?
Isn't it a group?
Father John. Yeah, he's a singer. He's a.
Father John Misty is a person, and the rest of the people are the group.
Father John Misty is just the dude. His name is Josh Tillman. He used to play drums on Fleet Foxes, and now he's solo. But his band is. It doesn't matter what the band is. It's just him. It's like
okay, so it's kind of like Hootie and the Blowfish. Except that the black guy.
Well, but no. But they're not even. The Blowfish are at least addressed in the title, and Father John Misty is just Father John Misty.
It's just him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I saw him performing at SNL one time, and I saw a band. I saw people behind him, so I don't know if what would make them a band, and whatever the fuck. I have to say that Hootie and the Blowfish. That's like the worst job of branding I've ever seen.
How so? Because
if everybody refers to you as Hootie and that's not your name. It's confusing. You confuse
Darius Rucker. That's his name. Yeah. Darius Rucker. I only want to be with you. That song sucks so much dick. That song is horrible. If you have not listened to that song, I think it's called "I Only Want to Be with You."
I'm pretty sure our listeners have heard that song. I mean, it's pretty much
you've heard it in every like Dunkin' Donuts where you're hungover and you're just like, I just want to. By the way, sorry for my mic volume going out of control.
Oh, I always thought it was interesting that it like within corporate entities like like just stores like Dunkin' Donuts and all that shit. In between all that corporate bullshit and customer service and our protocol and what we do, music still tends to seep through the cracks of even those entities. You know what I'm saying? Like a company will do all they can to assure that they double their profit at the end of every year, and they have all these conventional ideas of how to get to that and all these rules and all these pamphlets, but they still recognize that at the end of the day, they still got to have music playing in this boring fucking environment so it can actually have some life. You know what I'm saying? That always amazes me. It always amazes me how.
But the type too.
The type of music.
Yeah, like you're not gonna. This is so obvious, but just how jarring would the experience be if you walked into Dunkin' Donuts and you heard Death Grips?
How jarring would it be?
I mean, to the average.
I don't think you think that would influence people to spend less.
Because they probably wouldn't want to be there. They'd be like, what is this? This is weird. I wanted to come in here, because the average Dunkin' Donuts goer is in the middle-aged, like, it's like a almost middle-aged woman who's buying some shit for her office. Like some guy in the morning who's just getting his shit, and then it's like, boom, 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 boom. You're like, what the fuck?
Got some donuts. Crush me. Well, yeah.
It would make them buy less. Absolutely.
What I found odd is when I began working for the nutritional store that I work for, the store was constantly playing Taylor Swift records. Always playing Taylor Swift. I mean, I heard Trouble over the course of one shift. I heard Trouble like maybe 10 times. It was.
Do you guys do the Christmas music?
Yes, and the Christmas music is what I wait for every year.
How so?
Because
you like it?
Yes, the Christmas music only exists for just a few weeks. It's not as bad as listening to Trouble, 80 times a week. It's a lot better. It's refreshing. You know what I'm saying? But I would always argue that in this establishment where we're serving, a large part of our demographic is men in their mid 20s to like 40s and 50s who want to like build some serious muscle. And they come in here, they buy testosterone boosters, they buy, weight gainers, they buy creatine, and we have them listening to top 40 music, which is something that they would never listen to when they're at the gym. I think if nutritional places were more accurate, they would play things like EDM and fucking like metal and fucking trap music. You know what I'm saying? Like music that people really listen to when they work out.
Well, maybe they're not trying to necessarily attach the brand only to working out, but like general nutrition and feeling good. Do you have any? How is the music controlled? You just connect to Sirius Top 40 or whatever?
There is a CD that's delivered to the store every month, and it can be just sometimes it doesn't ever even seem like there's any changes at all.
But it's the same shit.
It's mostly always the same shit. Maybe it's just put in a different order, and you have to just put it in the system, and that's it. That's pretty much how it goes. There were two songs that I found that I was surprised that was in the playlist. Was a cover of Kanye's "Heartless" by someone who I do not know. It was a cover of Kanye's "Heartless," not "Heartless."
Guitar, like acoustic shit.
In the night, and a cold story ever tell. Like he sounded like a Disney character. You know what I'm saying? It didn't sound good. And the other one was Drake's. "We're Going Home."
Yeah, that's an easily singable song.
Yeah, but it's so surprising that you would that's something that you hear in the club when Drake when the beat drops. You know what I'm saying? So that those were two odd records that were on there, but everything else is pretty predictable.
Very Starbucks.
Yeah, very Starbucks, exactly. And maybe that's what influences people to buy. I'm not sure. I mean, I would imagine that if you walked into a store, I guess there's a certain rhythm that has to flow. Say when you go into a clothing store, those are the places where music is pumping even louder than anything. They want to make you feel like you're at a fucking club, I guess.
Oh, yeah, they are kind of simulating that. But not just that, but like a runway, like the fashion runway.
Okay, that too.
So girls go in there, you're like, this H&M really makes me feel like I really feel like I can be myself and wear the clothing that I want. I don't know what the fuck kind of girl that is. I can wear the clothing that I want to.
So Yeah, maybe it makes people shop more. I'm sure there's some fucking some jack off research fucktard group out there that research has shown that top 40 music will influence people to to shop more or whatever. But it's all that manipulation, I guess. But manipulation, I guess, in a good way, because I mean, does it really do you any harm?
No, I mean, it can be annoying. A cynical person like me is rolling my eyes. I know what they're doing. They're just playing this music to make me feel better.
Well, sir, to be honest, you shop at the Salvation Army or at a thrift store, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and you get corduroy jeans that smell like salami.
And mothballs.
Mothballs, along with your cargo shorts and tailor-made Birkenstocks.
I've never shopped at a thrift store for clothing.
Never. Okay, I have.
Did you get underwear from there? Because they have underwear there.
Sir. No,
yeah,
sir.
You did.
No, sir. What I was
you bought a nice pair.
What I always find great about thrift shops is the objects that they sell that aren't clothes. Like, what exactly qualifies this to be in a thrift store? Like, sometimes they'll sell basketballs. Like, just like worn out balls. It's like, who's buying these things? Like, who's buying a worn out basketball? Like, I don't know, trading cards maybe, but
artists,
right? Because it has to look vintage.
This is for my collection. I used to buy a lot of books there. That was so good for books, like 50-cent books that you would cost like $30 in a bookstore. That's where I basically made my Stephen King collection when I was younger. I'd get any Stephen King book I could find at a thrift store for like $1. We used to buy toys, like action figures there. I like the smell of thrift store books for some reason.
Nothing in a thrift store smells good.
I like it. It was old. It's like this. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a.
Well, compare that to the vagina of a white woman, and how does it stack up?
Equal.
Okay.
Equal.
Equally. Okay.
I smell the book. Mm-hmm. I smell the vag. It just. I just. Okay, it's good.
Right.
Imagine doing that. Would you tell it? I mean, I've had this dilemma before. A smelly pussy. What do you do with the girl? I mean, do you tell her? Because I never have. I don't have the heart.
No. I guess if I wondered and I suspected if she was going to be smelly, then you figure out a situation where maybe she showers beforehand. You know?
You just had to figure, it would be super sexy if we did this in the shower.
What was that?
You're just trying to convince her that it would be sexy if you were in the shower together, like...
Yeah, maybe something like that. A scenario like that would work. Yeah, so, you try to figure out a clever way to do it, but I gotta say, I've never been too close to many smelly vaginas. It's never really happened that often. But,
oh my God.
But that's why you do the test. You put your fingers down there and
you just do it.
Exactly like you would smell a book. And I like how the sniffs are in twos, just like that. Just like...
Yeah, you got to do two, because the first sniff may deceive thee.
Right.
However, thine second sniff shall make thine smell true.
Right. Well, man, I mean, it depends. How willing are you? I mean, are you a willing muff diver, like, constantly?
Yeah, usually.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I mean, unless it's... God, yeah, I've been in situations like I didn't want to be there, but I'm a fucking warrior. Mm-hmm. I'm in there, you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I've been in the situations I don't like. I don't like it, man. But the thing about that is that I find that they can tell. They know that I don't want to be there, so I'm just like, just hating it.
Wait. So sometimes you do it against your own will?
Oh, come on! I'm not being forced to do anything. It's sort of like they know I'm half-assing it because I'm hating it so much, which leads me to believe, now that I say this, it's like, why do I even I shouldn't even do that. It's like, you shouldn't, if you know you're gonna hate it, why even try? You know, like, I shouldn't even be doing that. I should just say in the beginning, I'm not gonna enjoy this because it doesn't smell nice. I wouldn't say that, but
any less willing to do it to a woman.
A biggin?
Oh, a biggin. That wouldn't even come up.
Really?
A biggin, it wouldn't even come up. With a biggin, I would normally find myself in a situation with a biggin where the biggin would be serving me. I would never be serving the biggin, and rarely would I be having, actually penis and vagina action with the biggin.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever had sex with a fat girl?
Yeah, but rarely. Rarely.
Wow.
Yeah. It doesn't really happen like that, man. It really doesn't. Yeah. And of course, D.respect is fat shaming now. He's
that's that thing. We avoid truths so often, but like obesity and being fat is one of them. Because like I'm fat, but it's like that word is so like we avoid it. It's like you just. I know it doesn't have a super negative connotation, but everything else sort of implies that you're totally healthy and everything. It's all right. It's totally okay how you like, because it's not healthy. I mean, like you're more prone to heart disease and all that shit. So I get it. Not that we should be fucking making fat people feel bad, because I mean, there's like these fat people hate communities online where they just say really bad shit. Like it's dedicated to saying bad shit about fat people. I don't believe in that. But I mean, I don't necessarily agree with these campaigns where it's like, oh, you're completely okay, even though you're like
accept
150
yourself,
pounds over.
accept yourself exactly as you are.
I understand acceptance, but it's like that's unhealthy. It's like acknowledge that. Don't be like, this is fine. I'm going to be like this for the rest of my life. And like that's, I mean, and if you're going to acknowledge that, don't. It's like. Is it fine or not? That's the real question. It's not healthy. God, this is a tricky one.
I think what's normally said is which is always pretty strange. It's like, if you are going to try to make a lifestyle change, do it for yourself and not for others shaming you. Which is always kind of funny because it's like you're still suggesting that I should make a change. Why don't you just tell me to make a change?
Yeah.
Why don't you just, hey, sometimes people need to be given a kick in the ass. I mean, look, I get very surprised when I speak to women who are, let's say, maybe 40 pounds overweight.
Pleasantly plump,
right. To the point where if they dedicated themselves for about 2 months, ate right, exercised on a regular basis, they would make a significant difference and feel very much better about themselves. And they tell me, oh yeah, because I'm gonna do the gastric surgery in about a month. And I'm just like, well, why would you do that? I mean, are you just lazy as fuck? Like you're, I'm not physically attracted to you, but what the work that it would require you to get rid of this weight. It's what you need to stay alive until you're 90, lady. It's how you need to treat your body just on a regular basis.
It's long term.
It's long term. It's not something that requires a drastic change, just a few alterations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Maybe stop drinking soda. Stop drinking things that are so obviously harmful to you, like fucking like fried foods. Shit like that. So it's not that drastic. You're not exactly. You're not a 700-pound woman who's being filmed by Lifetime because you can't get your ass out of the front door. You're chubby. So, but those people, of course, I would never. Sometimes maybe in a jestful manner, I kind of go, but there's nothing wrong with you. Well, why would you do that? Like I sort of suggest, but all you have to do is just do this. But they're gonna do what they're gonna do because they want it now.
Yeah, that's the world though. We do want everything quicker. That's why Hydroxycut is popular and everything that makes it seem like you'll get it quicker. It's like, and they always, God, that's the way these products are marketed though. It's like, oh, in 3 weeks you'll have the best body of your life, and and the operative term, like the important part is the time. They always give you the time. It's never, God, because they couldn't market a product like this where they say, my diet plan and my exercise plan, it's going to be difficult. You're not going to like it. And I'm not going to tell you when it's going to happen. We actually don't even do weigh-ins. What we do is just work. And you're going to see results. I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to say it's going to be 2 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever the fuck. You just have to stick with it and understand that this is a process. It's a very long process.
That's very hard for most people to understand.
That's the reality, though. Because, I mean, it's even like every diet that I've done has worked. Everything works, but things have to be sustainable. It's like, and I'm coming to the conclusion that you have to treat these things like addiction. Just accept it, man. Like with this, like like with these AA programs, it's like the first step is to admit you have an issue, you have a problem, and like the psychological thing, I don't think is addressed enough because that's a big issue, and that's a big component of like why do you eat? Like why do you wake up and you have this craving? Like I have the like if I'm happy, I want to just run and put something in my mouth. Oh Jesus. Put something in my mouth.
You want to run and put something in your mouth?
Yes. Where them dicks at? Where they at?
Well, I think the want it now and not understanding the whole thing that it's a process. I think a great example of that, comes from what happened with Dr. Oz. I think maybe like a year ago or something like that when Dr. Oz got caught up in some controversy because he was referring to, I'm not sure if the pill was Garcinia cambogia. He was.
That's my cousin.
Garcinia cambogia.
Yeah.
He was referring to the pill as the magical diet pill. The miracle diet pill.
Yeah.
So,
and that word is a problem.
That's a tricky word because I mean, even though we don't want to, we want to always assume that the American public is a very well educated, well informed public, but more often than not, they really go by what they hear and they don't do a lot of research, even if it's readily available to them at all times of the day now. Like there's no excuse to not be informed on something that you're gonna put.
You know what the most important part is? Like miracle, quick, quick, fast, like fat burner, fat buster, words like you know those quality
words like diet,
yeah.
words like nutrition,
right. Exactly.
I apologize.
Fat buster, fat burner. This will melt the fat off of you.
Mm-hmm. Ripped.
That doesn't melt
that's very
off.
popular in the industry.
What
popular.
melting?
Ripped.
Getting ripped.
Gives you that ripped physique, so you can look hot for the summer. Hey, try this pill. Testimonials by the Double D's own Dominic Robran.
You know what? I was fat before. I'm fat now too, but for a while though I was taking the pills and it I guess it worked or something.
Testimonials by Double D's own Underwater Eddie.
Yeah, sometimes I take the pill before I eat my food, and it will turn my shit into this oily substance, so I'd be leaking. I did lose about 400 pounds doing this, but I actually wouldn't advise anyone to do it because it made my asshole an oily mess for about 2 months.
Testimonials by Double D's own Mupluktu.
There is no need to diet. Your only need is to feed. You must gorge yourself on what you enjoy. You must gorge yourself on what makes you happy and indulge.
Mupluktu sounds way too positive. This is way too positive.
Really?
Mupluktu. He has to sound disapproving, and Mupluktu had to sound like he is not pleased.
No, he's good because he has his kicks on.
He's got his J's on. I got you. But
he is a sneakerhead. Yeah.
But the American public isn't as informed as we would hope them to be. So obviously he got into a lot of shit because of the language that he used, and it's because people need it now. I mean, no one wants to work for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's anything though. That's fucking.
It's not everything. It's not everything.
It is.
It's not everything because the biggest thing, because people are willing to work 60 hours a week, and they'll tell you that, well, I'm doing this because I would like to save up enough money so I can, I don't know, put money down on a fucking condo or whatever the fuck, or save for a rainy day, or just save for a wedding or whatever, just saving for the future and basically living for the future.
Yeah.
But then if you ask them, well, how's your diet? Are you exercising? Are you doing this? It's like, I don't fucking have time for that.
I'm not saying.
So it's very ironic. Well, my only point is that it's very ironic because your health is what gets dismissed, because it's what's taken for granted the most, more often than not. Because what was that line? That line from the classic hood movie Fresh, which if you guys have not seen Fresh is absolutely one of the top 3 hood movies. And when I say hood movies, I mean The Boys in the Hood, The Menace to Societies, the New Jack Cities. Fresh is up there, but the reason why Fresh isn't as popular is because Fresh had an artsy touch to it. It had an artful touch to it. Did you ever see it, Dom?
Is that the one where Tupac is in drag?
No, that was Dominic Robron visits the white girls.
Okay.
Yeah, but have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen Fresh. Okay. Well, I'm not going to explain the
Is
premise.
that Eddie Griffin?
No, it wasn't Eddie Griffin. Well, Samuel L. Jackson was in it. He played Fresh's father.
Who is Fresh?
Fresh was a 12-year-old boy who lived in the Bronx. And he was
Foolish. That's what Foolish is. Eddie Griffin. You remember Foolish?
Enough
Foolish
about
was
Eddie
this
Griffin.
weird.
Let's
I
get
know.
to the point
We'll go back to
here.
Fresh, but yeah, that's what I was thinking is Foolish. Anyway, go on.
Eddie Griffin. So, Fresh was a 12-year-old boy who was a drug dealer. He was employed by 2 local drug dealers, and he sought a way to get out of the lifestyle, to get him and his sister out of the lifestyle by setting up these drug dealers in a drug war, setting them up against each other. Very clever, but what made this movie have a bit of an artistic touch was Fresh constantly had scenes where he would be sitting hillside in the city watching a train going by in the distance, and they played the very optimistic music and him just staring off into the sunset, and they never gave you context as to what he was thinking about, but it was very, you drew your own interpretation from what he was thinking or how he looked, and they were just a lot of like just the way the movie was shot. It's a lot different than your garden variety hood movies. But anyway, in that movie, Samuel Jackson, his father, said something that pertains a lot to people's health situation. He said, "You figure just as long as you ain't drowning, everything's all right." And that's exactly how I feel every day when I speak to somebody who comes in and they say something like, they are, maybe sometimes we're talking about maybe like 300 pounds plus, and the person comes in the store and they are very intelligent. They question everything about the products, and you just think for a second, it's like, did you ever question like your eating habits? Did you ever question that? But all of a sudden, I'm trying to show you something that can help you, and all of a sudden, you turn into John Nash from A Beautiful Mind. You're like decoding everything. You're like, wait a minute, I heard that this was no, but I had heard
when it's a pork rib, it just goes right in their mouth. Boom, boom,
right.
boom.
No thinking. Thinking, but all of a sudden now it's they see numbers in their head and everything like whispers like so because they figure, hey, I'm walking around, I'm fine, so I'm not drowning, I'm not dead yet, so I'll come back. And the line that I always hear is, I'll come back, I'll do some research, and I'll come back. All right, that's fine.
Is that is that how you know that they're not going to come back?
That's when you know they're not going to come back. It's either I'll wait till I get paid on Friday, or I'll come back, I'll do some research. I just wanted to look at the prices and and just come back. you know.
But
It is what it is.
the reason I disagree with you is patience and hard work is everything, dude. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
In the diet field and you working on anything, but back to the quick fix thing, the majority of people will want a quick fix to everything, including if we take the realm of hard work and trying to do something creative, for instance, they want to know what type of microphone they can buy, what tablet they can buy, what sort of mixer, or what do beat makers use? Is it the mixing
MPC.
boards? Yeah, those, like, what sort of software should I get? In reality, it's like, that does not fucking matter, dude. Because I could give, like, a master, I can give him a piece of paper. It doesn't fucking matter what you use. It really doesn't. And it doesn't matter because it's like, if you're just going to quit after week 2, then it's like, well, you shouldn't even be talking about it.
Right.
The fuck?
Diet's always the most important thing.
Yeah.
The most important thing.
Yeah, now this go around I'm doing more diet and less workout so that I can spend more time drawing. Just that voice, just yuck.
Yeah, I know.
It's awful.
I'll stop.
Speaking of yuck, I saw some heinous shit on the train yesterday.
Okay.
This dude, old black gentleman, white Kangol cat, and a white T-shirt, and some baggy ass jeans, and you just see someone, and your shade meter just goes off. You're like, this guy is up to some shit. Mm-hmm. You just know. You just look at, because they have this. It's a certain look when you're up to something. You look because they're checking their surroundings too much.
Okay.
And so I saw him doing that, and it was only me, him, and like 2 other dudes on the train, and we were all spaced out. I was the closest to him, and I was like, the fuck? I want to get off this train. And I was thinking about getting off and going on another car, but it closed, and we're like, oh, going to the next stop. I was like, oh, fuck. So this dude gets up, and he looks a little bit drunk, and he's looking around for something. He's looking around really hard. He's looking for some shit. He finds a Gatorade bottle. He's like, ugh. He stumbles over there, grabs it, sits in the seat that's like, I don't know, like 5 rows in front of me, but he's obscured, so he's like in the very back of the train, so his front is blocked off, and I see him bring the Gatorade bottle in front of him, close to his crotch area, and I'm like, oh my, I can't believe this dude is about to do this shit. So I look away, and I do a peripheral glance for a moment, and I see his face, and I know what he's doing. And sure enough, close to the next stop, he takes this half full Gatorade bottle full of piss and just rests it right by his feet. And so I saw the creation of a piss bottle. Everyone's encountered a piss bottle in public areas.
Yeah.
But I saw it get created.
You saw it get created?
I saw it. I saw the creation of that performance art.
But you were watching him throughout this. So
I wasn't watching him the whole time. I casted a glance every once in a while.
Well, it seems like you would, it seems like you were observing him pretty tightly.
I wasn't. I would look away for a minute or two. Look real quick. Look away. And then, all right. So then, after the train stopped, he gets up and he looks really distraught. He's like, oh, man, what the fuck, man? And he's pulling up his right pants leg really tight, and he's searching. He's stumbling around, moving closer to where I am. He finds some newspapers, crumples them up, and he starts wiping down his leg because he had pissed out his leg.
In between any of this time, did you figure you give him some change, give him $1, nothing?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Why would I do? Because what if he was just some dude who just had a bad day? What if he has a job and everything, and he's not homeless, and he's just a gross man?
That's some pretty bizarre behavior for somebody who's not homeless.
I don't want to interact with him. What if he peed on me? I don't need your money, motherfucker. I don't need your money.
Fuck you think this shit is, man? I just need to piss. Fuck.
Hey, maybe it's something that you're into if he pees on you. What do you know?
Ew.
You know.
I really wanted to say that that's nasty as shit. What's wrong with you? At least take the bottle with you.
And this is in DC too. I mean, this is. I've been to DC one time.
We don't have this shit like that on the train very often. Man.
Yeah. Like
late at Friday, Saturday night, you might get the drunkies, but it's not much, man.
As I remember it, the streets were always very clean.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see a lot of homeless people. You didn't see any like wraparounds, just running around. So that's really odd to see. I'm surprised that the police didn't take him away immediately.
What do you mean? They didn't see him?
They didn't see him?
No.
No. I would just mean that if he's doing this now, who's to say he won't be doing it somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? I'd be very surprised if he wasn't picked up somewhere, because this thing doesn't seem to be very prevalent within the metro in DC. It doesn't.
You're right. I wish
New York City, it's an everyday thing.
If there was some way I had a bottle of apple juice or something, and I could go over there and somehow get him to think that I just picked the bottle up and I was just guzzling it, I wonder what his reaction would be. I'm just drinking the apple juice, just looking at him, just like, what do you? Hey man, you nasty as shit.
Yeah.
The fuck? Or he would say, "Congrats, young man, you won. You won. I've been waiting for a man to drink my piss. I'm a multi-billionaire, and this is how I get my kicks."
Right, he's extremely sophisticated, and then
everyone's wondering. They always say this shit like, "Man, would you drink piss for $1 million? How would you know unless you do it, son?" I think that's why I'm the boss. Okay, that's why I run this shit, because I think in advance, homie. That's why you where you is and I is where I is. All right, come on my level. All right, we got.
What was that?
We got questions. Got a couple questions.
Are these questions directed to me? Are they directed to you?
Both of us. Let's wrap. Let's go through them real quick. Pseudo MKDC says, "Do you guys have any favorite UK based rap albums?"
Oh, come on, man! You're gonna ask these stupid fucking questions. Do we have any favorite based UK rap albums?
I love how upset you are. I like this one track that came out from this.
You're only answering this because you have an answer to this question. You didn't consider me at all. You didn't send me these questions. These weren't screened. You just fucking ambushed me.
Live.
It's gonna be a
Bill
fucking
O'Reilly,
question
son.
about Tame Impala in a fucking second.
No, dude. The next question's about you. So shut up. Listen, this track by Novelist called "Ignorant and What." I like that. It's a grime track. No, we're not feeling the chance and Lil B tape. John J-Boy Eccles. Next question for you from Honduran Hustle says, "When's D.Respect gonna get consistent?"
Is that,
you happy now because it's about you?
Okay, right. So it's a question. He's fucking chastising me. That question wasn't. It could have been worded in different ways. Why hasn't D been more consistent recently?
He says, when
is he gonna be consistent?
Gonna get consistent.
When is he gonna get consistent? So he's fucking putting his finger.
And he's
on
from
my
Honduras,
chest.
man. What do you have to say about that? You're gonna let a Honduran talk about you like that, son?
Actually, it's Honduran, but never mind.
Is that how? Oh,
yeah. When am I gonna get more consistent? I guess he's referring to the request videos because this podcast is fucking consistent.
Yeah, man.
You're getting this podcast, but they don't care about that, do they? They don't care about that. They want to get every.
They care about your content more.
Little, well, maybe that's the case, but they want every little piece of you. They want every little piece of you. They're referring to the request videos. I mean, the request videos have been lagging for several reasons, some of which I really don't want to get into it. But I'll be getting a lot more consistent in the near future.
He hates it so much, dude.
Yeah, this is terrible. You're pulling teeth right now. I did the whole the Drake thing against Meek Mill. So, I'll get the ball rolling more in that direction. But it's very dry. This is a very dry summer as far as hip-hop news goes. And I've never considered myself much of an album reviewer. I'm not an album reviewer. And the way in which I, throw out information, it doesn't flow well with album reviewing. It just doesn't. I just never felt comfortable with doing it. So things have to happen in order for me to to actually make hip hop commentary videos consistently. So I'm definitely considering doing things outside of the hip hop realm. But if something interesting happens, then I'll jump back into it. But the hip hop is very dry. It was just a miracle. It was just a miracle that perhaps the biggest artists today embraced the one thing that I love the most in hip hop. So maybe it was Haley's comment.
What do you mean, beef?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Everybody knows. I've been screaming beefs for years, bro. For years. You dig back into the D.respect crates, and he's been bitching about beefs and competitive spirits all this time. So I embrace this. I love it. And I haven't listened to the Sci-Hi the Prince track where he's getting at Kanye and Pusha T. I haven't heard that track yet, but
How do you bitch at? I think, was it you who raised that point about Meek always talking about having more money than someone, and like, how could he say, you can't say that about Drake? So
you can't say that against him. What is he gonna say?
So it's like Sci-Hi. What does he say about Kanye? Like,
I don't know. I haven't heard the track. I haven't heard it.
Oh.
Yeah. But I hear it's a banger. So I look forward to listening.
Hey, your wife is sexy and you got a lot of money, but well, all right, see you later.
Life is working out for you. So, all right, what are the other questions?
All right, we got thoughts on Jon Stewart's retirement. D.Respect doesn't want to talk about that. I think he was a great performer. I'm really excited to see what Trevor Noah does. I'm excited to see that more of that chick with the dreads who's on that show. She's really cute. Holla at me. What did you guys think about the Deadpool trailer? I'm not a Deadpool fan. I don't care about the fourth wall thing. To me, is just ugh. You like Deadpool?
No. There's a guy in the red suit, right?
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. What's
it's always
thing?
like, oh,
he doesn't die, right?
Yeah, he has a intense healing factor. He can heal from like anything.
So he's like Wolverine, basically.
Yeah, and he's a mercenary, but no one knows, like, what does he use money for? Probably to buy pancakes or something because he's so random. I'm breaking the fourth wall. You're reading a comic book right now. Shut up, Deadpool. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. That Villain Online, Random Player says, Count Blackula, do you feel that you and D.Respect could have an actual radio show? Or would that be unlikely because of your demographic?
Isn't this a fucking radio show?
Radio show, terrestrial. They're talking about, like, Breakfast Club type shit.
No, I don't think he meant that. I think it's a dig. I think it's a dig.
No,
I think it's a fucking dig. He thinks he's fucking clever. He thinks he's fucking clever over there with his fucking Twitter account. Is that what he thinks? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I don't think we have enough for terrestrial, man. I mean,
what do you mean enough?
Geez. I don't think we have a big enough demographic. I think we're a little.
Of course
too
not.
Weird.
No. That's That's pretty obvious. I thought you meant content wise. I mean, no.
No. Yeah, we could have. I would love if we had a studio and we could have like guests coming, like some shit where it's like, wherever the fuck, whatever the fuck
say
guy is
fucking
coming
Tyler.
through.
You just want to say Tyler.
No, I don't. I was thinking about all the people I would have in, and you'd be like, who is this asshole? Who's Neil Gaiman? Like, why is this guy here? The fuck? What did he do? Anyway, it would be cool to have guests. We could get in girls, harass them. I could ask to smell them or something, and that would be my thing. Whoa, Dom is smelling the girls again. Just instead of donkey of the day, it's just my thing. If you sniff too hard, your nose starts burning. Last one. Iguana Lord asks, how important are views to you? So general, but I mean,
views are. Views, I think pretty much every person who creates online content for a while consistently, because don't forget, guy on the internet.
Yeah.
All right. D.Respect has been doing this since 2011, every Monday for about fucking
Talk about yourself in the third person.
3 fucking straight years, you fucking kid. Do you understand?
That's why I am where you are, and that's why you are where you is, because you talk to yourself in the third person.
So I think when everyone starts to make online content, the novelty of having views and that idea it's what. At one point, you start to crave it at the beginning. Mm-hmm. But after a while, you learn how the metrics of whatever site you're on or whatever app you're using, you learn the metrics of it, and you know what your core is, and you know that different views mean different things. You know, in YouTube, it's very much illustrated by the thumbs up and the thumbs down. It's very much illustrated by that. So if some guy who's created the instrumental to Drake's Back to Back can pretty much determine what people think about his instrumental, or you know, maybe he didn't write instrumental on the title, he just wrote Drake Back to Back. He can pretty much know what kind of views he's getting when he sees 45 likes and 180 dislikes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are different levels to everything. So views matter in the sense of when you recognize, this is my opinion, this isn't fact, when you recognize your core audience and you know pretty much what that number is to a certain extent. Maybe you have 100,000 followers, but your core audience is about 10,000 strong. And, you know, it's a different figure for everybody. Nobody gets 100% viewership unless you are the most vapid content creator.
You have to be very general. You have to appeal to a super wide audience.
Yes, you have to appeal to like the just the
wide
dumbest
and
shit.
weight. Yes,
Right. Like what is it? Cutie patootie? What's
PewDiePie.
Yeah, Cutie Pie.
My name is PewDiePie.
What are those people? What do they bring in every video? What is that? Like 11,000?
Bro, wait, no, no. Are you fucking joking? It's like 2 mil at least every video.
Okay, I said 11 mil every video. Okay.
I
But
thought you said 11,000.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So anyway,
it's stupid.
nobody gets 100% viewership. So once you figure out what your core is, those are the views that matter. And when you can always pull that core audience in, and you know, whatever's sprinkled on top of that is just, it's a game. But views don't really matter in the sense that people always seem to, they always think that it dictates everything. You know what I'm saying? And it absolutely doesn't, because I mean, if we relate it to music that we all know and love, some of the best artists that we've ever heard, whether it be obscure rappers like Bodega Bams or fucking terrible bands like Tame Impala, it doesn't matter.
What the fuck?
I had to just take a dig there. I've never even heard a Tame Impala song. I don't care. And I never will, by the way. So you don't listen to the music and you don't say, well, how many people like this? How many people dig this? It's like, no, you care just about if you do. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because the music that we love, we don't care about how big their audience is. It's the content that speaks for everything. So views don't really matter if you're online for a while.
I like how you were like, questioned. Now you're fucking answering the whole shit. You're so into it.
Because that was a good
This
question.
is a great idea.
That was a good
This
question.
is a great idea.
No,
You
the
like
other
this shit.
no. That was a question, not when is D.Respect gonna be consistent. That's not a question. That's an
all right,
attack.
all right. So you guys heard that shit about views? Just okay. Your other questions weren't bad. They weren't stupid, but just like, next time I ask, just come with some, pretty interesting stuff. Like, really sort of focus your power. Now, my views on views, okay, my views from the 6, from a guy who gets
from the 6 views he gets. You from the 6. That's it. You know what? If we had a rap battle, I could flip that very nicely.
You would fucking fry me. You're like the Drake. By the way, all that shit D.Respect was saying is from a guy who gets thousands of views every video. I get fucking like
which
200.
is nothing. No, what I get is nothing
200
in compared to.
So yeah, okay. From a guy who's getting peanuts over here, the thing is, there's quality views. There's like, it's like, if you're making good shit, if you're making shit that connects with people, they will come to you and. You won't have to worry as much about views. Like, things will happen, and I can attest to this. If you really put work in, it's not gonna matter how many views you're getting. People will notice your shit. Things will happen. but views can't be the reason you get into this. See, it cannot. If you're getting into this game to get retweets, you're dumb, and you should just fucking walk out the door. Just go. Because if you're here for views, you're done. It has to come from within. Okay, folks.
Ooh.
It's true.
Little.
Because then you're just gonna be
motivation.
like, why don't I have more subs? I follow some like YouTube subreddit, and everyone does like gaming video channels, the same shitty derivative stuff, and they're like, how can I get more subs? How about you focus on doing your shit instead of asking about? This is not about you, Iguana Lord. Okay, this is about these other guys who are like more concerned about views than what people are actually watching on their channel, because it exists. It's so many of them, and people can tell. People know when you're more concerned about views, so keep that in mind when you're making content.
John Taffer is the guy from Bar Rescue.
I'm shutting the bar there. I'm shutting it down. It's gross.
Shutting it down.
Look at all the dust.
I have a friend who does a spot on imitation of John Taffer. It's not a lot of dialogue, but the words that are always said is because you don't care, because you're a negligent owner. That's pretty much.
I say that to girls who have smelly pussies. You're a pussy. You're a negligent owner. You didn't clean it. It smells. I'm shutting it down.
I'm shutting it down again. John Taffer is, he's like this guy. He's huge within the hospitality industry. And he has a pretty good way of describing pretty much every field and how you should think. The way that he likes to describe in the restaurant business is that he is in the business of creating reactions. He's in the business of creating reactions, and he achieves it through food. So what he means by that is if you're waiting at a table and he puts an order, not him, but if the waiter puts an order of calamari on your table, and if your reaction, if your reaction isn't like, oh my God, if you have no reaction whatsoever, your business stays in mediocrity forever. But if the reaction that's invoked when the calamari is on the table is, whoa, this looks great, then we're succeeding. So, of course, he applies that to everything that you do. And when he said this, it was a talk at Google. So he was saying, you guys are in the reaction business, but you achieve it through ads. So it's absolutely true in all walks of everything that you do. I think it's very relatable, and it is. It's the reactions. It's that internal thing that you bring out of somebody when they click on a video, when they listen to a song. What was the reaction that you had to Meek Mill's 1-0 when you heard it for like the first few bars? It was, that's it. Meek Mill's is forever in mediocrity because of that now. But the reaction that Drake gave you, it was like the calamari that looked fantastic on the table. So he continues to go up and Meek Mill's goes down. So I think that's a perfect illustration about how, and it relates exactly to what Dom said. But it can only be something that it comes within you. That's the only reason why. Because if you're in it for views, you're going to go stagnant. Your content will just be shitty. I think most of my time on YouTube has been stagnant, if you want to look at it from a view standpoint. But you have to do it because you enjoy doing it. I don't get paid a lot of money for it. And for a large time when I was doing it, I didn't get paid at all. I didn't even know you could get paid for it when I started doing it. So you have to do it because you dig it, because it's something within you. You can't do it because you're out here for views. Do we have another question? Huh? Any?
Oh no, man, that was it.
Easy. That was a good fucking question, man. That fucking guy right there fucking pointed at that.
See, you like this shit. We'll do more if you guys come with it and give questions that D.respect likes.
No. It's not questions that I like.
No, you're right. No, because
question.
I didn't even want to linger on some of the other ones. I like the views one.
And to be fair, the radio question was a good question. I was just
that was all right.
I was just fucking with what was it, Villain?
Yeah. Random player.
Yeah, I was just fucking with it. That was a good question too. But a couple of other ones, you guys are getting at me with the fucking you assholes.